Welcome. We did some renovating, as you can see, in the classroom here. So this is the new classroom, and this is the last problem I assigned to you. So start off with dy dx is equal to negative 2x over y, and they gave us these, ended up being 12 points to figure out the slope of. The way they graded it is they gave you 1 point for figuring out the zero slopes. Again, what do we see here? This is where your x is 0, so this is going to be 0 whatever, so you get 0 as your slope here. Then you plug in the different points, you get slopes of negative 2, positive 2, negative 1, positive 1, and so forth. So they mix up fine. Now, part B of this question is where B and C are going to be the main parts that we're interested in. They tell us that f of 1 is negative 1, and from that, they want us to get the tangent line to estimate f of 1.1. All right, well, here's how we do this. We say, well, we know that dy dx is going to equal to negative 2 times positive 1 over negative 1, so we get that the slope here is positive 2. And of course we saw for that earlier, so if you do that from when you saw for it earlier, you wouldn't even have to do that step. So your tangent line is y minus negative 1, so it's y plus 1 equals m, which is 2, times x minus 1. So y equals 2x minus 2 minus 1. So y equals 2x minus 3. So we plug in 1.1. So it's 2.2 minus 3, which would be negative 0.8. Now, the last thing that they want us to do is they want us to come up with the differential equation here. So the differential equation for this is y dy, when we cross multiply, equals negative 2x dx. Good news here is we don't have anything in the denominator, so we don't have to worry about natural logs appearing in this situation. All right, so anti-differentiate here. We separated the variables, so we got credit for that. So we get y squared over 2 equals negative 2x squared over 2 plus c. So y squared is going to equal to 2 times negative x squared plus c. So y sub 2 equals negative 2x squared. Again, 2 times c is c. So from here, we get y equals, at this point right here, we can plug in 1 for x and negative 1 for y. So we get negative 1 squared equals negative 2 times 1 squared plus c. So this is 1 equals negative 2 plus c. So c is equal to 3. Now, this is y squared. We need the equation for y. So y squared equals negative 2x squared plus c, which in this case is 3. So y equals to, now we go into the square root here, negative 2x squared plus 3. But we have to remember that our answer said that when we plugged in positive x, we got negative y as our answer. So the only way that this 1 can be negative is to put the negative in front of the square root there. So remember, there's only one solution. This would typically be a plus or minus square root because you're taking the square root of both sides. So you have to take both of them into account. But when they tell you the initial condition yields a negative value, you get that as the solution. So hope that problem went well for you, and have a good one.